Welcome back. Our concluding moments with both Colonel Dari and Mr. Gbanite in Abuja. Let's get both of you to react to this Amnesty International report. So much said about that. Can that report, or should that report, or will the report be discouraging to the security forces in any way as we go about this fight against insurgents?
I don't think the report should be discouraging. Like as it is, it's an allegation. And to my mind, the President and Commander-in-Chief has done the right thing. He said, we will investigate.
What about the Army's reaction? You advised the
Yes, I listened and I saw the reaction. For me, I think that was a little bit of allowing emotions, you know, to take priority. You know, it's an allegation. It's an allegation.
It's a serious allegation.
A serious allegation. You see, whether we like it or not, in situations like these, there are what you call unintended consequences. You cannot just say that crimes were not committed. It's not possible. Crimes can be committed unintentionally.
Are they liable to those unintentional commission?
It depends on the nature of the crime.
So you think that the military could have been less emotive in terms of its choice of words and the reaction to the allegations from Amnesty?
I think so.
Mr. Gbanite,
we should take it as, you know, and if there's an investigation, and whatever the outcome of the investigation is, it should be part of a learning curve.
Let's get Mr. Max in here. What's your impression about that Amnesty report? Do you think, let's take it on the chin and allow the government look into it and see what happens?
Well, I think, as the colonel have said, unintended actions. The Commander-in-Chief and President of Nigeria have also, without equivocation, said that he's going to look into the matter. He should look into the matter. But as far as Amnesty International is concerned, I think that their report is very, very mischievous, and I stand with the Nigerian military who have denied such cooperation in such crimes. I share this without fear of favor. The same report was presented after the Chibok girls were abducted last year, and based on that report, the international community refused to sell ammunition to Nigeria because of the so-called human rights abuse by the military. And the timing of this report came a day to the day that the president is to go to the G7 to talk to them about Nigerian wish list. And they brought it. The only difference in this report and that of 2014 is that the current chief of army staff's name and the CBS name were added. The reports are the same. This is the report that could have emanated from the disgruntled soldiers that were dismissed from the military who created serious allegations against their fellow colleagues. There also, you must remember that Northern Elders Forum and ACF at some point going to be documenting reports that are going to submit to ICC. And the Nigerian print media didn't have matters. That means if you say your house is smelly, your neighbor has a right to say you are in a smelly house. So this is self-inflicted by our own media. And Amnesty International tuned in on that to be able to discredit our military. And I disagree with them. But of course, like all the best international best practices, the Commander-in-Chief should investigate. I'm not saying that Nigerian military are saints and angels. There could be some soldiers who, again, on their own, without listening to high command, do certain things on the field. So you need to investigate it and be able to improve on your military practices, on your civil-military relationship, without even having to demoralize your soldiers.
All right, let's bring it back here. Just hang on, Max. Let me get this to you, Colonel Dari, and perhaps get the benefit of maybe Army legal mindset here. I see Donald saying when Obama killed Osama, Americans jubilated saying revenge. He thinks, why can't we do the same thing for some of these terrorists causing mayhem all over the place? Does that follow?
Sorry, can I?
He is saying that when the U.S. president, when America killed Osama,
Yes.
there was jubilation.
Yes.
Many of them will say, oh yes, revenge, finally. So I think he's seeing the same kind of scenario, saying, why can't we view perhaps whatever happens with the unintended actions, as you describe it as, in this case?
You see, the facts and circumstances are not the same. Are not the same. You know, you cannot, compare it. In the case of the Osama, they went outside America. It's not within America.
Does it matter where it happens? Aren't human rights the same across the world?
Well, and again, talking about the Amnesty International, don't forget that Amnesty International, they've given adverse reports on even Americans fighting in Afghanistan. Even during the Iraqi war too, they've given adverse reports. And don't forget also...
They don't give friendly reports, do they?
Well, you see, the objective of Amnesty International is to focus on human rights abuse anywhere in the world. That's their own business, and they've made it very clear. You know? They don't, regardless of who is involved, Christian, Muslim, black, white, regardless of race.
Those who expected them to say a thing or two about, maybe in this report, about what the insurgents have done in terms of human rights abuse, did they expect too much?
I don't think so either. But you see, there's what we call rules of engagement. Don't forget the Geneva Conventions of 1949 and the 1977 additional protocols that provide, protection for combatants and non-combatants. And these are rules that have to be respected and obeyed. And we are signatories to these conventions.
Oh. Okay, well, we have to go. Mr. Gbanite, we barely have 30 seconds, so if you will. At the end of the day, so many comments. Remember, we had a lot of arms that came into this country, some discovered, hidden. Should we be expecting maybe comments about what happened, who's supplying all of those, maybe to also help with information dissemination?
On uniformed soldiers, Nigerian military in fighting insurgency are not bound by Geneva Convention, because Geneva Convention establishes the fact that there is two warring factions. There is an international war, that there is a uniform faction. But when you are fighting a non-uniform faction, Geneva Convention does not apply. And that is why ICC came to Nigeria, investigated, and came back with a report that this is a non-international crisis and that they cannot arrest a Nigerian soldier based on Geneva Convention.
All right.
Therefore, Geneva Convention.
Thank you, Mr. Gbanite. We'll get the point. I'm sure many also do. He had to get that off his chest. That ranks topmost, but that's where we'll have to let it go.
It's a cross-border thing.
Okay. No problem.
We have to let it go. In N'Djamena, Chad. So it's not limited to Nigeria.
Thank you very much indeed, retired Colonel Yemidari, former director, Nigerian Army Legal Services, and then Mr. Mas Gbanite, strategic security consultant. Thank you both for coming on today.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.